All right, guys, everybody, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. This is our second segment on our Change Makers series this morning. And right now I have two other ladies joining me on set from Color My World, Kenya. With me at the very far end there, I have Wango Mugo, who's the program coordinator of Color My World, Kenya, and also Mutave Mutemi, who's the co-founder of Color My World Kenya. Karibuni sana to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
Now, Color My World Kenya is a society that's working with different institutions, partnerships, and individuals. They provide a platform for them to give back to the community by being part of arts and crafts, storytelling, and music programs. Mutave, you can tell us, when you began this, what was in your mind? Why, of all the different things you could be doing, why did you sort of settle in on this one?
So it was actually by chance. My co-founder and I, Elizabeth, it was right after uni, and we wanted to do something to give back over Christmas time. So we went to a children's home to give a few items, but we weren't very warmly received.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Like
unfortunately. Yes, unfortunately.
Well, that's puzzling.
Yeah. However, a friend of ours told us, you know what, guys, I usually volunteer at a hospital, Kenyatta Hospital, and there's a classroom here. I think you guys can come and do something. And we thought, why not? We've been turned down on this side, so maybe we could do something good on the other side. So we went there. There was a classroom in KNH, the third floor. And we met these kids, and they were just amazing. They were going through the toughest situations, which is dealing with different types of cancer at a very young age. However, just seeing their spirit, seeing how they're full of life at the same time, we thought, let's do something. And then we decided to do a party for them. So that became our first party, and we called it the Color Party, because we basically just wanted to color and draw and just have the arts and crafts sort of fun with the kids. And from there, everyone just thought we were a real organization. And
you're like, okay,
okay, I guess we're real. So the next year, we decided to register. So many people had heard about us, and they came on board. Some of them were people like Wango.
Yeah.
We had
so
the
that
first
means you're doing
7
this
lot.
full time now.
No, I first actually started as a volunteer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then now I just loved it. And then I just became now full-time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well done, ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you did a party then at KNH, but you're, of course, working with different organizations, right?
Yes.
You've talked about institutions, individuals. So what now do you do? Is it always like these nice, fun color parties, or what else do you guys do?
We actually have a hospital program called Color My World as I Beat Cancer program,
Okay.
where we teach children school-based program, as well as art and craft and music
so
therapy.
these are kids in hospital who
Yes.
obviously are missing out school.
Yeah.
So you go in and teach them right in hospital.
Yeah, we actually have a classroom there.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, so they come together.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Okay, what else do you guys do? Do you work with individuals at all, or it's mostly through these different, is it mostly hospitals that you work with? Do you work with government agencies at all?
No, it's not just hospitals. So we have 2 programs, as Wango mentioned. There's the Color My World as I Beat Cancer, which is a hospital program.
Okay.
Right now, our main partner for that is Kenyatta National Hospital. Then we do have an urban slum program where it's about teaching life skills and mentorship programs to children who are in the slums. So we partner with a school. So for example, in Korogosho, in Kibera, in Mathare, we have a partner school where we go during the school holidays to do a camp. So that camp is all about now bringing in professionals and also just people who want to come and spend time with the kids and show them that they can be more than what they see within their environment.
Right.
So those are our 2 main programs.
Okay.
And the reason we even moved on to the slum program is because many people saw what we were doing, and they realized there's a need for us to use the same talents, which is through arts and crafts and music, to be able to reach to other children.
Okay.
So hence the Urban Slum program was born 2 years ago.
Nice. So when you're talking about these arts and crafts and music, are you teaching them how to play, or are you bringing in people to sort of help have a fun, entertaining afternoon with the kids? Or how are you bringing in these skills, as you're saying?
We actually do research. So we usually go look for crafts and we do it ourselves, and then you see how best can this child make the craft and how are we going to develop it as well. And then with music, sometimes we usually bring in people like other organizations to come spend a day with them.
Okay.
And sometimes we put on a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. Did they get to watch Lion King?
Yes.
Of course. Did they cry like I did when
Tears
Mufasa
are
died?
necessary. Yeah.
I'm not over it. I'm not a scar. You will pay for it. Anyway, I'm kidding. But how big is your organization now? When did you start this and how big are you now?
So we started officially in 2013. And we've trained over 350 volunteers during that period of time. Yeah. So from small groups of people come in to individuals come in to say we want to partner with you. So they have to go through a rigorous training program to be able to make sure that they can handle the pressures that come with being a volunteer, especially at the hospital, because the hospital is not a very fancy or nice place to be. You know, people are sick, and unfortunately, because it's a terminal illness, the results may not be the very best. So you have to also make sure that the volunteers themselves are also ready and prepared for that. And then we've also worked with over 2,500 kids at the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done. High five.
So those are the ones that are able to come to class, and then others we literally go to their bed in the wards and, you know, just make sure we give them something to do, because for us it's not just arts and crafts, it's a form of therapy. And it's a way to get the children to be able to express themselves, to express how they're feeling, because they're sick, they're not sure what's going on, they're going through this very difficult treatment. Some of them become very shy, very reserved, very scared as well. So just showing them that, you know, let's do something that's nice out of your comfort zone. You're not allowed to go outside of the ward to go and play like other kids, but how can we make this environment fun for you? How can we make it safe for you? And how can we help you to also just develop yourself and to nurture a few more skills that probably some of them didn't even know they had.
Okay.
You know, we've had kids who literally Wango has had to teach them, this is how you write your name. We start with letter A, letter B. Yeah. So it's
Even
Wango,
reading.
you just look like such a sweet teacher.
she is.
Joyce must be better.
Thank you.
She really is. Yeah.
You just look like that. Just like, Miss Wango, I want a cookie, and you give them. It's a good thing.
There's some who are almost like that. They're like, they go to your vulnerability.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. And I mean, kudos to you, because as you're saying, you know, first of all, it's kids, so they're already so cute. And then seeing them like hurting in that way must be very difficult. So, you know, I applaud what you guys are doing. But I wanted to ask about the volunteers, because you've mentioned that they go through a very rigorous training program. How long is that training program, and how long do they volunteer for? Like, is it, because it's for you to invest that much in their training, it sounds like they're on board for a bit of time?
Actually, the training, it's usually 1 week. And then before we take them now, we select a few who go to the hospital program. But before they go to the hospital, we usually do a pre-counseling. We tell them what they will be expecting, how many days we want them to do, because we usually don't allow volunteers to do the full Monday to Thursday.
Yeah.
So we usually tell them the maximum you can come to the hospital is 2 days.
Okay.
And we usually, we actually want them to, like, we make them make a timetable, be very involved. So like for me, since I'm usually there, I usually take a step back and I usually mentor them. I usually like tell them, you need to be here by 10:30, you need to make a timetable, tell me what your lesson plan is.
Sure.
And then after the 6 months, we usually do a post-counseling.
Okay.
To make sure that they're okay,
Yeah.
mentally, and everything.
Well done, ladies. I like that you've thought about all of that. But now let's talk about funding. You know, how are you guys managing all this? You know, being a change maker is not an easy thing.
Yes.
Right? It's not everybody who can just walk up and walk into a hospital and decide to, you know, do these programs. So is the hospital, I don't know if that's even a fair question to ask, but is the hospital sort of providing any funding? Do you guys have to outsource that from somewhere else? How do you actually get this running? How do you pay Wango? I'm kidding. No, but
In short, it's true. It's a
but
legitimate question.
it's, you know, being a change maker, there's huge questions about sustainability
Yes.
with a lot of the impact stories that we hear. So how are you guys managing so far? You've been around since 2013.
Yeah.
So when we started, because we weren't very clear what we were trying to do, a lot of it was coming from Elizabeth and I, that's my co-founder. And after a while of people seeing what we're doing, generally people are just kind, because they'd come, they'd see this is what you're doing, this is what you're about. So some people give us gifts in kind and others give us cash. So we've had a few institutions that have come and supported us, like Athi Water, and others who have given us now in kind, you know, Textbook Center. There was a time it was Uchumi, the one at Adams. So we've had different institutions that have come up and supported us in different ways. But most of it has just come from the team, even from our volunteers, you know, just seeing that, guys, this is what we're doing, this is the cause we're pushing for, and they also just support us. So we're hoping that even as we continue to grow and as we are thinking of how more to restructure and to make sure we are there for a very long time as an organization, regardless of whether we are physically there or not, that it can run. We're trying to work on ways that we can become now self-sustaining as an organization.
Well done, well done. Now, so far, this program, is it just based in Nairobi?
Yes.
Okay, do you have any hopes or plans to extend outside of that? Or I know the logistics will be, you know, quite a mountain to overcome, but is that sort of in the future for you guys?
It is in the future for us. We've definitely seen that, you know, KNH is the main referral hospital where most of these people come to. So we're hoping that at some point, you know, when we have also the right funding, that we'll be able to move out of Nairobi and be able to offer the same assistance, the same sort of therapy that we've been doing with these kids to other children in different hospitals.
And what are, I mean, so obviously you guys are dealing with children, and I don't know what your take is on how our law protects our children. Does it not? Do you feel more can be done at that policy level? Is that something you guys are keen on seeing, you know, much more work being done in that area?
Yes, we do. Because even in what we are pushing for as Kalame World is quality to education, like the right for a child to have a good space to develop, and also just quality of health, mostly.
Quality of health, quality of education. It's interesting. Are you now trying to engage any sort of government agencies on the same? Are they on your radar? Or how is that? You know, because again, with sustainability and a lot of people trying to scale up, there's at some point you're like, you know, some of these things technically should be the purview of the government, right? But there has been a breakdown of services or whatnot, and so individuals, organizations like yourselves step in. So I don't know, do you sort of see any ways you can collaborate with government? Is that something you guys would like to do?
Yeah, it's definitely something we would like to do. Even when we look at the data around kids who are suffering from cancer, a lot of it is not up to date. And there's a lot that can be done, because one thing we've also discovered, or rather we've come to learn, is when children have cancer, it's very curable. Actually, it's very curable at the early stages. So if these are things that can be detected, if we can have policies in place where we can support these kids, you know, we can have if it's screening centers that also accommodate children, because we talk a lot about breast cancer, prostate cancer, and so many other cancers, but we barely ever hear anything about, you know, the leukemias and other different kinds of cancers that affect children, and yet these are things that can be easily treated if they're detected early. So definitely there are plans to do that, because if we're going to have a big impact like we want to, and if we're going to make a difference in society, then we definitely need to be able to work with the necessary government officials and the necessary people who will be able to implement new policies that will advocate for that.
Well said. And you know, it's just talking to you two is very inspiring, I have to say, and I really salute what you're doing, particularly as we talk about change makers. You're both young women. There's so much you could be doing with your gifts and your talents. But you know, with the inspirational quotes that I read today, and we can throw it back up on the screen, but it said, "When I dare to be powerful and in this sense being powerful is using my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid, because that vision of service is so big and so great. And so, you know, as we get ready to wrap up this segment, I really want you guys to sort of speak to the rest of us out here, even those watching at home. Wango, you know, you came into this program as a volunteer, and here now you are working full-time in it. Mutave, you started this out of college, you said?
Yeah.
You know, so I just kind of want you guys to speak to that, about how change really just kind of begins with that decision to take even just that one step, so that at the end of the day, all of us should be change makers in one form or another. That's how we change Kenya. That's how we make this a better place. So in your sort of closing statements, this is your chance to like speak to the nation. Wango, let's begin with you.
I do, like one of our values for Color My World is hope, love, and joy. I believe that we all want to do something in the community, and we are offering a chance for everyone to participate in it. So I would love for people to join us and help us push our values, push our programs as well. Yeah.
Mutave?
I think just to add on to what Wango said about our values, you know, being to give love, to spread joy, and to also give hope. So based off those three, I think we all have something within us to want to give or to make a difference. You know, whether it's within our programs or something else that you feel you can make a difference in, I believe that you need to just start. It's scary. You probably don't know what you're doing, like we didn't know what we were doing. But here we are all these years later, and I can tell you for a fact there's no regret at all. Yeah. So feel free to come and join us at Color My World Kenya.
And how do people get in touch with you?
So you can reach us on our social media pages. You can reach us on our website.
Facebook.
Yeah, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So pretty much Color My World Kenya. So you'll find us. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for dropping by Full Circle with Joyce. It's been awesome talking to you. Congratulations on the great work you're doing. Certainly do keep it up. We'll be excited to hear of even bigger strides soon.
Thank you so much.
With that said, guys, we're going to take a short break right now. But when we come back, we're going to be talking to the founder of the Cup of Uji initiative. This is a school feeding initiative seeking to provide daily breakfast to less privileged primary school children in Kenya. I don't know about you guys, but I hope you're being challenged by all these different change makers this morning. Do send me your feedback. 22999 is the SMS line. You can also reach me on our social media platforms at Switch TV Kenya on Facebook and Twitter, and at Switch TV KE on Instagram. I'll be back in just a bit.